Okay, welcome to Nation's Final Thoughts. I compiled finally the 4 AIs that, well, the one AI that is in the base game and the 3 AIs that are made by some BGG guys. I'm going to present some final thoughts of the game. So this is not going to be a very positive review, I'm afraid. Nations is an old game and it has not really stood the test of time. The box is too wide for a Kallax, and Kallax is like modern days standard. The inside is just plain cardboard. These sheets could be folded into two, saving a lot of space in your game cabinet. The color palette is a bit bland, but it suffices. However, I found the B-sides, they have special rules, like one private architect per round, so this is clear. 2 extra military, that's also clear. And this is the B-side for Persia. It has an extra colony, so that's also clear. And here is the B-side, Golden Age bonus 1. Golden Age is the yellow cards, I think. What else is there? This is some B-sides. Production if passed. If you passed first, then you gain an extra grain. Okay, so there should be some extra text, but it's clear enough. Then we have the Automa variant. Note that there is also another card that's popular, that's called the solitaire variant. This is the Automa variant. It's a variation of the solitaire variant. And on the back side there is a game summary for the Automa variant with stars. When replacing buildings, any workers assigned to the replaced buildings are undeployed and returned to the Automa's reserve. And you supposedly draw from a deck of cards, and it gives the preference. And the problem I have with this is that it doesn't write anything about how to set it up. I think you are supposed to take any A side, because all the A sides are identical. Any A side and do the actions for the Automa based on his preference card. So first, maybe he wants a golden age, and then if there is no golden age, he wants a military building, etc. That sounds very simple, but these restrictions or indications are quite unclear, because it says here buy the lowest cost building. Okay, that is from the grid. Tiebreaker is highest stability, but highest stability of what? I think the highest resulting stability if you took the card, maybe. Or the highest stability that is shown on the card. Maybe it's not a problem in practice, but nevertheless, replace the building with fewer workers on it. Building with fewer workers on it. Yeah, okay, but if both have no workers yet, then the tiebreaker is the least stability, so you replace the building with the least stability. So it's not all that straightforward, but with a little bit of practice maybe you can you just perform the actions, of course. And here it starts with the maintenance phase, so there is some initial setup that has been forgotten. It's not written here, but yeah, I think you have to set it up like an alternates opponent. So this is complete with this Automa variant. I think it has been play tested a few times by just the guy itself. As per, but this is numbered all, so 2, 4, 24 cards, and some. You see this symbol deploy a guy on a military building, and if that's not possible, then too many guys, for example, or out of guys, then it will try to buy golden age cards, or it will try to, if there is no golden age either, then it will take an architect, or if possible will gain draw a wonder that should be in the construction. And all these symbols in the bottom are, I think, here there is no. So this card will not gain a worker for the AI. And -3 growth. Not really sure what that means. There is no documentation for this, so you have to kind of figure it out. So here it is, action phase. Flip a card to determine Automa's actions each turn. That's this deck. Automa growth flips a card to see if it gains a worker. So you flip a card and you see this symbol, but the -3 famine. Not really sure what that means, because if this is a board a behavior replacement, then you still are going to use the standard provided event deck, and there is the set of events, the H1 events. Let's put it nicely, because I found a buyer for this, so I'm happy if somebody else can do have some fun with it. So the H1 events, I put this to indicate when you draw from the top, to indicate that you have to shuffle again. Cards like so. There's some nice reference which should be also in be maintained in the second edition, but here it shows, for example, -2 grain. So this means that it's -2 grain, and this Automa has -3 grain. So I think they should be added, or so the player should lose 5 grain then. So there's a first part and a second part, and that is in contrast to the solo game that is in the rulebook. And the rulebook is old version, and it has a PDF available for the new version, the newer version. So it's not the second edition, but it's the updated first edition. And here it explains yeah, instead of drawing a normal event card, you will draw a random event tile. So you use the Automa variant that I just showed with this tile variant. I think, maybe not sure. No, you don't use it with. It's not a first player variant. This. Okay. I think to summarize, this is a two-player variant. This is for one-player variant, and this is some extra documentation that somebody made. This is another version. It's a Marphod version. This looks very complicated, but it has things like beaky, FD, mill, op, and step. I'm not sure why it has to be so complicated, but it's in a sense a simple deck. This is the Marphod, and of course BGG guys were too lazy to add backs that were of matching size, so I used the Automa backs and I colored them with a crayon with purple so that they at least have nice backs. Some of these are era 1, some of these are era 2, 3 or 4, and it should be they should be sorted according to age. This is what is placed instead of the event tile or the event deck. This is the replacing. So it's probably a nice AI, but my main problem is with the game itself. There are just not enough synergies, and there are synonyms for effects, and effects all point to the generic. Man, wait. I'll sort it out later. The problem is these cards.